Hi, I'm Leah. I'm a master gardener in Sonoma County, and today we're going to talk about a very special relationship in the garden, but not the kind of relationship where you kiss somebody under the apple tree. We're going to talk about the relationship between plants and fungus. And that relationship is so special it has its own name. It's called myco, for Greek root fungus, rhizal, which has to do with roots, and it's literally the relationship between roots and fungus. And that relationship is very old. When the first plants on Earth first started emerging out of waterways and started to establish themselves on land, they really needed some fungi to help them get what they needed from the sun and the soil. So that relationship began, and now there are something like 7,500 documented mycorrhizal relationships between plants and fungi, and about 80% of the plants that we, the species that we depend on, are part of this relationship, and most of the stuff that we like to grow. By the way, a few things that don't have mycorrhizal relationships include broccoli and other brassicas, cranberries, blueberries, rhododendrons, but most everything else does. And if you're looking for it in your garden, most of it's microscopic, but you might, under some leaf mold or some wood chips, see some little white filaments, and that's probably it. So this is a very pleasant, consensual relationship for the most part between plants and fungi, but for some plants it's absolutely essential to their survival. And the way that it works, it's symbiotic. When the plant is photosynthesizing, it's drawing carbon from the atmosphere and turning that carbon in this magical process into carbohydrates, lipids and sugars that the plant uses to grow, but also the mycorrhizal, the fungus, kind of, a spore might land nearby and it suddenly is alert. Oh, that plant is making something I need. So it kind of grows in that direction. It surrounds the root, or it actually enters the root so that it can harvest some of these carbohydrates, and then they're both benefiting. Yay, we have symbiosis. And if things go on long enough, this underground fungal network can get very large. There's a huge one that's something like 2,300 square acres in Oregon in the Blue Mountains, and these relationships are important in your garden. So how do you promote and support this mycorrhizal network that's so important? Well, the first thing is, don't till your soil. It's very important to not disturb this relationship and break up the network. And there are lots of good alternatives. You can mulch and you can have cover crops. Just stay away from tilling. The second is to try not to have a lot of bare ground, bare soil, because that exposes this network to some of the elements that are not good for it. Particularly the third thing, heat. Exposure to extreme heat is really going to hurt your mycorrhizal network. So you really want to try to make sure that you've got your soil covered, that you've got it irrigated, etc., so that it doesn't suffer and let its network die. So happy gardening, safe gardening. See you next time.